Great new report from the folks over at the Daily Poster. So they got their hands on some leaked audio from a meeting of the National Restaurant Association. That's a group of corporate lobbyists who are front and center in terms of blocking a minimum wage increase. Shortly after Joe Manchin and Sinema helped to block Bernie Sanders' $15 minimum wage amendment, lo and behold, they were invited to come and speak to this group. Daily Poster got their hands on the audio so we could see what they're saying in private to these corporate lobbyists as they are doing their bidding. First of all, the amount of just shameless adulation that was poured on top of Joe Manchin and Sinema from this group is kind of gross. They're like, from your lips to God's ears, you're doing an amazing job, et cetera, et cetera. Manchin gets in a shot there at Bernie. He says, Bernie, I told Bernie that $15 might be the way to go, but it ain't gonna go. Okay, whatever. But actually my favorite, there's this incredible paragraph at the end where Sinema is giving them advice on how to talk to members of Congress and how to make sure that they're effective in pushing their legislation. Now remember, so during the National Restaurant Association conference, Sinema, who recently, I'm reading from the piece right now, who recently posted a photo of herself on Instagram wearing a ring that read F off, said it's important to treat people with respect. As she advised lobbyists in attendance, you always want to be polite.
I love this. So Sinema, by the way, not
Miss Manners, as we'll know her now.
I was going to say, probably not the person you want to take tips on how to talk to members of Congress, because I'm not totally sure Sinema has mastered that art yet. So lobbyists probably shouldn't be taking advice from her in that particular place. But, it is sort of like, this is a caricature of what people think happens in Washington, right? Like, this is a cartoon.
Yes.
Like, this is exactly what you would see in, Thank You for Smoking. This is it.
Yeah. Well, and let's focus on Ms. Sinema here for a moment. The minimum wage in her own state is $12.15. Mm-hmm. She's pushing for an $11 federal minimum wage, lower than what is even in place in her own state. And she also talks to the lobbyists about how it's really important to listen to your constituents, and she's got to represent the state of Arizona. The state of Arizona doesn't agree with her on this, and they also don't agree with her stance on the filibuster. So she is much more, if you want to know where she's getting her policy from and who she's actually representing, these are the people who she's actually representing as she's pretending to be an independent voice for Arizona. And I think, Emily, this is something that the media does a very bad job of understanding. Arizona is a moderate state. Mm-hmm. West Virginia is a red state, right? No doubt about it. And so anytime Joe Manchin or Sinema sort of goes against anything that has progressive support in the party, they say, oh, they're representing their constituents, without understanding that, yeah, on certain issues, West Virginians are right-wing, certainly on cultural issues, but on economic issues, they're not at all. They support minimum wage increase. They support, this was a Fox News poll that was on election night, they support green job creation. I mean, it's just this very sort of uninformed and really one-size-fits-all view of voters in these states that leads to that type of analysis. So anyway, when you want to know who they're really representing, it has nothing to do with their constituents. It has everything to do with groups like this one, who they're giving their time to, who they're taking advice from, who they're taking corporate contributions from. And we covered here before how, immediately they got money in from union-busting law firms and the National Restaurants Association, the Chamber, and all these other places. So there you go.
Well, West Virginia is a populist red state, right?
Yes.
And that's a key distinction. And the media, again, still uses this totally outdated and overly simplistic filter in terms of red and blue.
Yes.
They don't understand the nuances of it. I guarantee you a $15 minimum wage is popular in West Virginia. I guarantee it. I mean, we have Republican senators now introducing $15 minimum wage legislation. Mm-hmm. That's how popular $15 minimum wage is. It's not to say that I necessarily support it or I don't understand how those costs can actually hurt workers in some cases, but oh my gosh, let's not pretend that's where Manchin and Sinema are coming from on this.
Exactly right. All right, tomorrow on Rising, Colin Rogero and Emily Jashinsky, she's going to be back for Team Rising. Sagar's going to be back in his chair. Friend of the show, journalist Ed Jelani, is going to join us. Remember to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos. Also, don't forget to like and share as well. Thank you, Emily. Great having you. Phenomenal job, and I guess we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Krystal. I'll be back.
All right, you guys, have a good day.